The Call of Duty 2020 reveal window is slowly creeping upon us, and announcements for new Call of Duty games are every April or May, so this year's has to happen pretty soon. Over the last week or two, leaks have started to appear on the internet, hinting towards things we're not supposed to know about yet. Rumor and speculation are spreading rapidly, with people claiming they know what it is, including the confirmed name, the setting, and much more. There's obviously a lot of intrigue for this year's Call of Duty game, so you've come to the right place if you want a roundup of every rumor so far about Call of Duty 2020 in this video. But I must stress there is heavy emphasis on the word rumor. I would not take everything in this video at face value, but rather as a discussional piece, as these are stories currently circulating in the Call of Duty community, but of course have no confirmation or certainty as to what is fact and made up for fun. But something we definitely don't expect to hear so early on is the potential first actual details about this year's zombies. It's very exciting, I know, and regardless if it's real or not, I wanted to discuss this with you guys. Now, in order to get onto that discussion properly, we need to go through a timeline of events. So you have to pay attention in these next few minutes as we're going to go over everything leading up to today. In May 2019, even before the reveal of Modern Warfare, there was already the beginnings of news of Call of Duty 2020. And it was all because of one gaming journalist, Jason Schreier. Now, Jason Schreier is a gaming journalist who covers the video game industry and has been recognized for several investigative stories, as well as being renowned for having some of the tightest contacts within the gaming industry. He released an article called Sources: Call of Duty 2020 in Upheaval as Treyarch Takes Over, Plans Black Ops 5, and revealed that COD 2020 was originally going to be developed by Sledgehammer Games and Raven Software, but recently plans changed, with Treyarch now in charge of leading Call of Duty Black Ops 5 for 2020. He was also the first to mention that the game was going to have a Cold War Vietnam era setting, and that theme has followed ever since. And then the timeline jumps and we change focus from Jason Schreier to Charlie Intel, who report that this year's Call of Duty game is connected to the Black Ops universe, but will not have Black Ops or Black Ops 5 in the game's title. This new rumor, sparked from a video uploaded by the Gaming Revolution, claims that the game will be connected to the Black Ops universe, but the name itself will not have Black Ops in the title. And information in that video lines up with some of what Charlie Intel has heard about the upcoming 2020 title, but they are unable to verify the name details. And then we have good old Jason Schreier returning again to give the Call of Duty community some additional context on the 2020 Call of Duty game, by claiming that the game is not a reboot of the Black Ops franchise, which many of us expected given Modern Warfare's reboot, believing again that it's a Cold War Vietnam era setting, and dismissing all rumors about the name of the game being Call of Duty Vietnam. Now, over the past day or two, many community fans have been calling this year's game Call of Duty Vietnam. Jason Schreier on record on Twitter and in forums that after doing some poking around, he realized that as of right now, that is not actually the game's title. So we are none the wiser on what this year's game is actually called, but we can cross COD Vietnam off the list apparently. But if you could name a future Call of Duty game, what would you call it? Let me know down below in the comments. But another contender has thrown his hat into the Call of Duty 2020 rumor ring, that being a mysterious Chinese Twitter user called Victor Z. Now, for some context, this Twitter account did not gain any traction until last year, where they repeatedly posted information about Modern Warfare 2019 months before release, which was 100% correct. And Victor replied to one of Charlie Intel's tweets yesterday with information he has about this year's game. Translated, it says, the plot description of the campaign is similar to the Black Ops series. The multiplayer is also similar to the previous COD. Zombie has some new ways of playing. It suits me very well. I don't like finding eggs in the map. No need to ask me for specific information I can't disclose. So obviously some very weird cryptic information being shared there. Now, by no means is any of that genuine or 100% accurate, because we just don't know. So we have to take everything with a grain of salt. But what interests me the most is that zombies will apparently have some new ways of playing. And that got me very excited to brainstorm and theorize about what exactly that could mean gameplay wise. Now, of course, that is very vague, so we have no real idea what he means by it. But I assume by new ways of playing, it could be that we could see something similar to what they did in Black Ops 2, where they had classic survival maps on top of just the normal main map. As Zombies has evolved more and more over the years, it's very clear to see that the maps have become a lot more complex, with hidden features and mechanics and Easter eggs that only the most hardcore of players will discover and use to their full advantage. But if you're someone that's played some World at War or some Black Ops 1 Zombies like Kino to Toten, you're going to be very put off by what Zombies has now become. I think Black Ops 2 Zombies had a pretty good balancing point by introducing a very overbearing map like Transit, but then breaking it down into different survival maps so that if people wanted to just quickly jump into the action, they have a small map with the features they expect in a Zombies map, and there is no complications to getting those features. The Pack-a-Punch is there, the perks are there. There is nothing you have to go out of your way or look up a tutorial on YouTube for half an hour to work out how to play the map. If you have that mindset and correlate it with the way he worded it, saying that Zombies has new ways of playing and it suits him very well, he doesn't like finding Easter eggs in the map, that would make a lot of sense. But another brainstorm idea I had in my head is that this could be interpreted that Zombies might have multiple modes again, which we saw in Black Ops 4 Zombies, but they are massively developed on so that they are more social, almost party game-like experiences, like Grief and Turned were over something like Rush and Gauntlets. It's very hard to know exactly what he is referring to when he mentions that there's new ways of playing that suits his style of play very well with not having to find Easter eggs, but those are the two immediate things I could think of. If you guys have any other ideas, then please let me know down below. Now, when questioned about Zombies gameplay, he just said that Zombies has new gameplay, but that does not mean that it's going to give up old gameplay. Now, that doesn't really make any sense, but someone went to ask, what does this mean that a lot of gameplay will remain the same? And then asked him, please can Juggernog return? Which I think is something we all want to see again, and he replied saying, the game has not been announced yet, it is too early to discuss these. Good news. So I don't know if that means we are going to see Juggernog. I really don't know how to interpret what that answer is, but from this guy's opinion, it sounds like there are quite a few positive things that he's enjoying from what he's heard of Zombies. If it's true or not, we have no real idea, but that's why I'm bringing you this video so we can discuss it nonetheless. Aside from that, there is no other known information about Zombies mode, but you guys know the moment that there is, we'll be the first to post about it here on the channel, so be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell. Now, the next big question is, when can we expect to see the reveal of this game? And it is no secret that announcements for new Call of Duty games are every single year in the months April and May. It's a pattern that has occurred for nearly 10 years or more, so the chance of that changing is incredibly unlikely. However, 2020 is shaping up to be one of the strangest years ever, which leaves us the fans with a question you're probably already thinking in your head. Will there be any delays with the reveal, marketing, and release date of the game? Well, to answer these questions, we can again look to Jason Schreier, who said on Twitter yesterday, as of right now, the game is still planned to release this fall, but nobody knows what's going to happen in the coming months. With someone questioning, weren't they supposed to start marketing it in the next month? If they announce that it's coming this fall, then probably the decision will be final. Into which he replies, in the midst of a pandemic, there's no such thing as a final decision on anything. So take from that what you will, but it seems as of right now, the game is still planned to release as normal in October or November, and it will probably coincide with a multi-platform release on the current gen and next gen consoles, as long as they aren't delayed for this fall as well. Personally, I would be really sad if this year's game does get delayed due to the global pandemic, but it is absolutely understandable if that is the case. Of course, people need to be at the studio working on the game, and if they have to self-isolate and work from home, then obviously that work cannot happen. But with Activision being the publisher of Call of Duty and them releasing a new Call of Duty game every single year, shareholders have come to expect that yearly release window, and as a business, I'm sure they will try their hardest to make sure they do not miss those days. But that has been absolutely every rumor about Call of Duty 2020 2020 so far rounded up into one video. But before I go, I've been thinking about doing a 10,000 COD point giveaway for 2.5 million subscribers. I spoke to the voices in the ether and they said that if we could smash 10,000 likes on this video, then they'll do it. It sounds cool. I'll try and make it happen, guys. But anyways, this has been John. Keep it here on Mr. Dalek JD for all your latest and greatest Call of Duty news and content.